Hello there, once again from Ostrava. Greetings from here. I'm after the sixth round of the Ostravsky Konik Open A. Today I have played against once again stronger, but yeah, the stronger player than me. Also more experienced, over 60 years old. So yeah, a very great experience as for the chess player. But that was the first game. I had the chance to play against the player below the 2000 FIDE rating. So I hope to have the first win at the tournament, and you will see how it went. I have started with e4, c5. Once again, the Sicilian defense opening, but yeah, every time I'm playing that opening, either by black or as white. It was a different line of the Sicilian defense, so that was once again the same here. I played knight to f3, a6, d4, c takes, knight takes, and a6. And yeah, right now I figure out that probably my opponent is prepared for me because there's at least one online game of mine where I have played c4 here. So I have expected that probably my opponent has seen that game and has prepared something special. So this is why I have decided to play something else instead, just to do not get locked into the preparation of my opponent. So knight c3, acceptable move. Queen to c7 and a3, just a preventing move that is played very often by Magnus Carlsen here. It's a preventer from getting the bishop on b4, and yeah, this is a really nasty pin here on this knight. Knight f6, bishop e3, b5, and yeah, here I had to calculate all the lines related to the b4 pushing. I've decided to play f3 because I've managed to calculate that after b4 I can just take it, move the knight into b5. There is no chance to take that knight with the pawn. The opponent is forced to move his queen to one of the to the strange looking square, which is that c6, and because otherwise I'm having a chance to move the knight into the d6 with a check, and I would force exchange the bishop for the knight. Let's say queen here, and yeah, this kind of the exchange would be probably preferable by me. Because yeah, he would have problems with the king here. But that wasn't what has been played during the game. There was no before at this stage. Bishop b7, queen bishop e2, and d5. Uh, I have wasted some time here before that d5 move because I had to really very deeply calculated all the lines related with the b4. I don't have that opening prepared that much, so yeah, I had to improvise during the game. But yeah, it turned out that all that time has been wasted because the plan of my opponent wasn't playing before at all from the beginning. Because yeah, he just decided to exchange the center pawns on the by d5. I seen that yeah, leaving that pawn that exchange for him for my opponent would be worse for me because I might have a loss of the pawn probably here on e4. So I've decided to take that on my own. I have decided to exchange the knights. And yeah, here I got out of the possibilities of getting pinned later on by this knight, yeah, after pushing the pawn on before. So I was completely happy about this very position. I thought that that's already a good start for me. Of course, there are some problems because yeah, if I would play something like Kingside Castle right now, uh, my opponent could have a really strong move, bishop d6, with having the opportunity to attack on king here. Of course, I could play something like that, but yeah, even allowing an opponent to get the perpetual like that, despite of having a higher rating here, that wasn't the ideal option for me. And yeah, I wanted to play that for a win. So yeah, I've played a move that is more waiting for black what he's gonna do. That is queen to d2. That gives me also the opportunity, or yeah, give the sign to my opponent that maybe I will do the yeah, queen side castle here. Not showing that yet. And here I was a nice trap hidden to my opponent here because yeah, after naturally looking bishop d6 here, there is a possibility to get to win a pawn by playing yeah, bishop b5. And right now, if he would take it, it's even 2 pawns for me because yeah, I could play something like that, and there is no chance to escape with the bishop here. That pawn would be really weak. I don't have any problems later on to do the short castle, and I have 2 pawns that could be really helpful and effective on winning that game. So yeah, that was one of the options, the trap that I have prepared for my opponent. I hope that yeah, maybe he will miss this one. I have seen that he's playing really fast. Yeah, at that time I was below the hour left for the rest of the game, and my opponent at the same time had like I know just uh, oh, much over an hour, something like hour and 25 minutes or hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, he didn't use much time yet. Uh, but instead of bishop d6, he played knight to d7. And yeah, right now, if I would play castle king side right now, the difference is that yeah, after playing bishop here, I don't have any way of getting an advantage out of bishop b5 because it's not the check anymore, and he can simply answer with bishop h2, and that should be okay position for him. So yeah, I had to wait a bit for him to yeah uh, to do the not that good move with the bishop to either e7 or c5. That is less natural than the move to the d6. So yeah, I once again I've done a waiting move, but also there is no sense to do a waiting move like I know b3 or c3 here. I thought that yeah, I should activate some of my pieces, so I've decided to move the rook on d1. There are many lines where that rook can yeah give some chances for giving the checkmate on the opponent here. So and here, my opponent has blundered, in my opinion, because he has played bishop to b6. Why it's blunder, I will tell you in a second. But yeah, probably a better choice for him would be playing something like rook to d8 or bishop to e7. But yeah, probably that bishop is not that natural on this square. Maybe yeah, rook here would be a better choice. But instead, he played rook to b6, and yeah, why it's a blunder? Because it's allowing me to the pin the to pin the queen here. And yeah, I haven't calculated that really well, but good enough for my opponent. Because yeah, what is the threat to my opponent right now? That I can give up the piece on b5 or e6, and then take on b6 and have a pawn up. Also, he's not able to to get rid of that pin here at in any way, because yeah, if he would try to defend that, I can simply take the pawn. That was what I have calculated during the game. If he would try to get out of the pin with the moves such as I know queen to d6, I still can just take the pawn. And yeah, and this one would be gone. And also for the moves like queen to e5 during the game, I thought that winning for me would be this kind of the variant. Yeah, he is not able to take with the pawn here because of the potential problems for the king here. And yeah, goodbye castle. And if he would take with the bishop here, I'm having yeah a really strong chances here. Probably yeah the king is still in the center. I'm at least able to yeah to take that pawn on b5 and yeah that would be a bare minimum for me that I can take from that position. Of course he can take it, but yeah at the long term probably he would have too much trouble with the king here. But what I have missed during the calculation, maybe I would find that during the game, that yeah, after king to f2, he's able to just return the knight and it's more or less equal position. But there is also a chance that after playing queen to e6, I would find an even stronger move, which is knight to e6. And yeah, what is my threat is yeah, putting the knight on c6. I'm also threatening the exchanging of the knight for the bishop here. And yeah, there's no chance regarding the knight on b6, it's hanging. So that should be a winning chance for me, but yeah, that wasn't what happened in the game. The opponent played rook to b8. And yeah, I have simply answered with queen to uh, a6. He answered with knight to c4. If yeah, that would be a checkers game. Fortunately, in chess, you're not forced to do the exchanges. Yeah, probably that would not be that winning after we are taking with the queen on c4. I'm still having a pawn up here, but I'm having some troubles with yeah securing the king here. And I think that would be much more complicated than the line that I have chosen. So after knight to c4, I've just decided to take on b5 because of yeah many threats that are on the queen. The line that I had to calculate it really deeply was what would happen after queen to b6 because yeah the knight is hanging, the bishop is hanging, the queen is hanging, and yeah, it's hard to find the proper move here. But the line that I have found was simply uh, playing here. A rook takes here, and after taking the queen by him, I can simply go here and giving the double attack with the knight, and yeah, that would be probably a good enough exchange for me because yeah, at the end I'm also taking the rook off the board, and yeah, I'm having a couple of pawns up, so that would be the winning endgame for me. But other line that I also had to calculate here that yeah happened during the game was what would happen after queen to e5. And here, of course, yeah, there is a double threat on the e3 bishop. And yeah, I had in my head many really fancy and nice looking sacrifices on d5, and it looks really nice, really amazing, like yeah, an immortal game or something like that. But at the end, yeah, what my focus, because I was lower on time, was to do not play the best game according to the style, but to play something that is more accurate, more safe. So yeah, I've decided just to place the bishop on d4, and right now it's hard for the queen to stay on this diagonal, and I'm forcing the knight to c7 move later on. If he would try to keep himself on that diagonal, I can easily play g3 later on, and yeah, there is no chance to prevent that from happening later on. So instead, in the game, what happened was not queen to f4, but queen to g5. And yeah, I've just decided that I can take the first the knight on c4 because he's not able to take that piece back. Because, for instance, I can play queen to c6, and the mate is inevitable. For instance, after queen to e7, I can play queen to d6 and mating with the knight. Or as alternative, there is a really fancy looking mate after king to d8. I could just play bishop f6 with double check and mate at the same time. So that those were the lines that looked really interesting for me. Of course, yeah, chess are not the checkers, so the takings are not forced at all. I thought that yeah, maybe my opponent could play something like that, but I was totally sure that yeah, even after sacrificing the rook, the surroundings of the black kings is too serious to yeah to handle that at any way. Yeah, but during the game, something else has happened. My opponent decided to play bishop. Sorry, has decided to play bishop e7. And yeah, I totally yeah, missed the point of that move. And yeah, I thought that probably I can just take the bishop on the 5. And after queen to g2, I was almost yeah happy to play rook to g1. And what a surprise that would be, because that would be a losing move. It seems like yeah I'm having uh, two pieces up and one pawns additionally, and also his king is on the edge of getting mated. But yeah, I could miss the mate in two by playing that. Because what could happen right now is bishop h4. I'm forced to play bishop f2, and then there is queen f2 mate. Uh, I would literally cry if that would happen on the board. I can imagine that on myself, but yeah, fortunately, I have discovered that before playing Rook G1. So I have just simply played something easy and simple Rook to F1. Opponent has decided to. Okay, I think I have yeah broke the analysis. Give me a moment. Mm, sorry for that. That was what happened during the game. Oh yeah, instead of taking on b5, I first checked on c7. That's a small difference. But yeah, no matter of that knight on c7, there is still the same threat that after here, yeah, I'm losing after bishop to h4, mate in 2. But yeah, fortunately, I have discovered that played rook to f1. He took the bishop on d5, and yeah, a quick analysis, quick calculation on my side here. I'm a piece up because the knight is still on my side, and also I'm having an advantage of one pawn. But yeah, two of those pawns are yeah, on the loose and should advance relatively easily. But yeah, I've decided to put more pressure on my opponent, so played a rook to d2. He had to revert the queen. I played rook to g1, queen to h4, and after king d1, my opponent has resigned. Why? Because there is simply too high tension on the g7 right now. It's really hard to get rid of yeah the problems here. He could try to play something like that, but then the other problems pops up because yeah the bishop on e7 was preventing the queen from yeah pushing the king even more forward to the right side of the board here. As alternative, he could try to yeah to move the pawn up, but yeah then rook is hanging. He could move the bishop here, but once again there is a threat of getting mated here. If he will play here, yeah, I think even something like that should be deadly because yeah, there is a pin. He cannot take that back. Totally lost game. And last thing, blocking that is also not any option because of rook getting to the play. And yeah, it's actually even a mate. So yeah, my opponent has resigned here. I'm really happy. Finally, the first win in the tournament. That took me 6 rounds. Six, yes, 6 rounds. I hope that it's not the last one during the tournament. But yeah, all of the games that I have played so far were against the stronger opponents. So I knew what I'm signing for in the tournament. So yeah, I need to just face that. The truth hurts here, like Ben Fingold is saying. But yeah, on the other hand, if I want to improve myself at chess, the only way of doing that is by playing against the stronger players. And even if I'm losing, it's most important to take some lessons out of those losses. Yeah, today that was a good game of mine. Probably there are not that many things that I can improve or learn from that, maybe other than making that I'm fully concentrated till the end of the game, even if I'm having a great advantage, because yeah, overlooking missing that checkmate on by bishop h4 and yeah, mate on f2 would be something really terrible for me. And yeah, I'm really sure that that would hit me really hard if that would happen on the board. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the game. If you're still watching it, please yeah, add in the comments pin, because yeah, I think that was the main theme of the game, and something that has allowed me to win that. So thank you very much, and see you next time.